the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing League live from the Darlington Raceway here in beautiful Darlington, South Carolina. As always, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. Joining me tonight up here in the booth, a very special treat for us tonight on JTN, the one, the only, Mr. Joseph Weaver. Welcome back to Bomb Squad, Mr. Weaver.
Hello, Joe. Thank you for having me, and thank you everybody at home for having me. I hope you're ready for some fun racing tonight from the Lady in Black Darlington. Going to be a fun little race here at this nice intermediate short track, whichever you want to call it.
Intermediate short track, short intermediate track. There's a lot of ways we could go about it, but the one thing we do know, Weaver, is this track is the track they call too tough to tame.
Yeah, and they mean it when they say it. There's a lot going on here. You got about 4 different types of corners in one track. It's very unique oval. Never really changed much since its inception, and I think it's one of the better tracks on the schedule.
Again, folks, cannot thank you enough for tuning in tonight. We're here from Darlington, going to go 129 circuits around this 1.366 mile track. This, of course, is your Circle Beat Diecast race preview. Remember, you can use code JTN at checkout at CircleBeatDiecast.com for $5 off shipping on your order of $30 or more. Qualifying is currently underway. We got some special activities, festivities during happy hour as well, so a little bit of an extended happy hour this evening. We'll get to that when we get there. But obviously we raced here earlier this year. We saw a spectacular battle between our 2 championship favorites, Kilojoules and BSR Ricky J. Look forward to probably having another great battle with some new guys up there in the mix. Got to think about Keith MC Weaver, who's been hot in recent weeks. Jason San Diego has been up inside the top 5 more often than not. Really starting to see this field as we've entered the second half of the season, kind of echoing what we've seen in the NASCAR Cup Series this year. You know, obviously they had a rule change with the next-gen car. We had the rule change here at Bomb Squad with the 3X wear, which we stress it every week is such a big difference from what these guys were used to in the past. But these drivers and these teams, I think they're all starting to catch up with that big rule change that started at the beginning of the season, especially now that we're hitting some of these tracks for the second time.
Yeah, Joe, I think the nerves have shaken off from changing the rules, and we're really starting to see these drivers come out here and put on the show that we've expected every week. We're seeing some great races with KJ and Ricky J throwing blows each week, it seems.
And
it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top this week.
I mean, qualifying has run its course, so before we get Weaver reading off the starting lineup, want to congratulate the driver of the number 86, Andrew Miller, on his initiation tonight. Little cool tradition that they do here at the Bomb Squad Racing League. So they're going to crash the crap out of that 86 Powerade car here in Happy Hour. We're going to get to watch it. Hopefully they get all the crashing out of the way now. You know, these teams, they've brought a couple extra backup cars that they've used 3-4 years ago for this specific event. They look the same, but... So here we go. and we're dying down here in turns 1 and 2. My colleague up here in the booth is very confused. I believe this is his first time witnessing this.
Wouldn't say confused, but I'm taking it all in. It's a fun ceremony we got going on here.
Well, sometimes you get some folks like to take this stuff a little too seriously, and I think this is always a good little reminder event to not take everything so seriously when it comes to sim racing. Still be respectful and whatnot, but sometimes it's okay. It's okay to have a little bit of fun. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, we're all here playing a video game. We're just out here having fun.
Yeah, but it's a sim, Weaver.
It's a video game.
Saw the 32 and the 19 just absolutely clear the catch fence and then be thrown back onto the track by the sheer will of the fans there down the back. It's a junkyard here.
Mm-hmm.
This is still a lot better than this type of stuff happening during a race. Let me just put that out there too for the folks at home. Of course, this having
like you said, Joe. Hopefully, we're getting it all out our system now.
Of course, has no ramifications on later tonight.
No, at the end of the day, it is Darlington. Anything can happen here. It's a very tricky track.
It's not the tricky triangle though.
No, it's the tricky egg.
Tricky egg.
Yep.
You ever accidentally eaten like a spoiled egg? Like you left it in the fridge too long?
I don't
feel
think
like eggs are good for a long time though in the fridge, right?
Yeah, I'm lucky. I got a family friend that usually hooks us up. She's got a couple chickens, so we get fresh eggs almost weekly.
Now, can you put those eggs in the fridge, or you gotta leave them on the counter since they're not coated and stuff? Okay. So that's a big thing, right? Here in the States, we put our eggs in the fridge, and then overseas, they don't, because it's just different processes. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Like over in Europe, they don't put the eggs in the fridge because there's different things. I forget exactly what it is, but it has to do with the bacteria and stuff on the outer shell.
Interesting.
The more you know, folks at home. See, it's all you can always learn something here on JTN. Like, I can't explain why those cars just torpedoed and tornadoed around, but I can't explain why, eggs are different in different places.
Doing a good job. Almost made it a whole circuit here for the 86 Andrew Miller.
Almost there. So he'll, of course, get that BSR in front of he'll get the BSR Clubhouse tag. And Miller always does a great job, too. Does some broadcasting with the Fast Renegade Cup Series for events that we aren't broadcasting. So, like to remind you fans, you can check him out here on YouTube. Top Dragster. Again, right here on YouTube. Or you can just search Fast Renegade Cup Series, and I believe his stream should also come up. Welcome in, Mark, Tim, Nikki B. Thank you for tuning in. You're having a fantastic Thursday night. Keep it lighthearted in chat this evening. A good night. How much time we got left here, Weaver?
Clocking in about 5 minutes.
All right, well, with 5 minutes left, why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
Absolutely, Joe. Would be my pleasure. Tonight, taking the pole time with a time of 28.362. It's going to be the 029 of BSR kilojoules. Starting the outside pole position, we have the 022 of Jason San Diego. On row 2, we have the 28 of BSR Keith MC and the 088 of BSR Greg Lavelle. On row 3, we have the 193 of BSR Ricky J and the 011 of Steve Grant. On row 4, we have the 66 of BSR Terry Scott and the 8 of Cody Luke. Row 5 is the 199 of BSR M. Coulong and the 86 of Andrew Miller. Row 6, we have the 4 of BSR Silver Bullet and the 19 of BSR Furco. Row 7, we have the 103 of BSR Nelly and the 22 of Rick Craddock. Row 8, we have the 49 of BSR Brain Fade and the 33 of BSR Jimmy Dale. Row 9, we have the 32 of BSR Pantelica and the 028 of BSR Monty Keller. And our last row is the 144 of BSR Magoo, and rounding out our field, we have the 68 of BSR Brian Voiles.
So a great little field tonight here from Darlington, folks. Got to put on a great show for you this evening. Make sure, if you haven't already, you click that like button and subscribe to us here on the Joe Tow Network. Be a friend, tell a friend about our streams. That is always much appreciated as well. Word-of-mouth advertising is our bread and butter here on JTN, so we cannot thank you enough, as always, for all of your support. So 19 cars tonight making up this field. When you see that number, Weaver, what's it get you thinking about?
Oh, I can tell you there's quite a few things that pop into my mind with the number 19. So it's a nice number. Right before you get to the 20s, you know, it's the last teens. There's a lot of things going on at the age of 19. You know, you're figuring things out, trying to be an adult. Favorite driver Carl Edwards drove it at the end of his career. I drove it for a little bit. It's a good number.
Jeremy Mayfield, Urco here in BSR.
It's a very aesthetically pleasing number, in my opinion.
Casey Atwood also drove the 19. Daniel Suarez for a couple of years. Martin Truex Jr.
He's tainted a little bit.
Truex has?
Yeah.
Does he? He has more wins in the number than Carl, though, right? Carl only drove it for 2 years, right? 2 or 3? 2, yeah. He only drove it for 2. Doesn't it feel like Carl Edwards was at JGR for longer than 2 years?
More than 2, but not a whole lot more than 2, I would say. Maybe like 3 or 4, but yeah. I don't know, how many wins does Truex have in it now?
I'm not sure.
I can only think top of my head about 4 for Carl.
Let's go to our good old friend Racing Reference. So Truex, in his, he's been in the 19 since 2020, 2019? What year did he start driving the 19? Hold on. So 2019, he had 7 wins. 2020, he had a single win, and then 4 in 2021, so that gives him a grand total of 12. In 3 years and I don't know what you call it, 2/3.
Get rid of his cheating season.
What was his cheating season?
That first one, 7 wins. That ain't right. It ain't possible.
That was the big 3-and-me year. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Carl Edwards doesn't even have a picture on Racing Reference.
That's their mistake.
And Carl only had 5 wins in the 19, 2 and then 3. And his last win, too, is that Texas rain-shortened one, right?
I believe so.
Oh. Well, getting ready to go racing here tonight, folks. Again, cannot thank you enough for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe. We are so excited to be bringing you these final 10 Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series events this year. They're all going to be live, again, Thursday nights, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the JoeTow Network, JTN. College football's back, Weaver. I know your UCF Knights were doing very well. It's not Golden Knights, right? It's just Knights.
I believe it is just Knights now.
Okay. For folks out there that are maybe looking for some scoreboard updates, which I'd really like to get us on our bottom line now that football season's coming. West Virginia is currently up on Pitt. Tennessee is destroying Ball State. Oklahoma State is up big against Central Michigan. And Purdue, with 6:33 left in the second, is up 10-7 over Penn State. Field gets set here on the pit lane. We get ready to fire up these engines and start this one tonight from Darlington.
A lot of manufacturers coming out vying for this win here tonight. See a Cadillac, a Lincoln, Pontiac making a return.
Drivers, start your engines!
As you hear the command, these 19 racers get their motors running as we get ready to go racing tonight from Darlington. It's going to be BSR Kilojoules on the pole, again with that time of 28.362 seconds, with the 022 of Jason San Diego to his outside. Row 2 going to be comprised of Keith Seal, Mac Daddy, and BSR Greg Lovell in the 088. Row number 3 going to be the 193 of BSR Ricky J, with the 011 of Steve Grant to his outside. Row number 4 going to be comprised of the 66 of BSR Terry Scott and the 8 of Cody Luke. Rounding out your top 10 tonight going to be the 199 of Mike Coulong, or BSR M. Coulong, and the 86 of the newly anointed BSR Andrew Miller. Waiting for the official name there. Then it's going to be the 4 Silver Bullet, Furco in the 19, last week's winner Nelly in the 103, the 22 of Rick Craddock, 19 of, that's 49 of Brain Fade, 33 Jimmy Dale, 32 Pentelica, 028 Monte Keller, Magoo, and Brian Voiles rounding out your field. Again, I said 19 of 20 here tonight from Darlington. KJ with control behind our Dodge Charger pace car. It makes the hard left turn down the pit lane. Gives way once again to BSR Kilojoules lining up on the pole in that Busch Ice Cadillac. Going to look for a smooth, luxurious ride here tonight from the Lady in Black. Fans on their feet here in Darlington. And down and away we go. Green flag, and we're racing here from the track that's too tough to tame.
Everybody's sending it off nice and carefully into the high bank turns 1 and 2 here. Point to watch all night here is going to be coming off of turn 2. Car likes to get real tight there. Caution is already out. We got one spin towards the back.
Brian Voiles also slow. Nelly, Magoo in the 144. How'd this happen? Let's get a replay. See the 19 of Furco coming off of turn number 4. Just going to get loose on the outside. Going to get contact with the front of the 22 of Craddock. Collects the 103 of Nelly as well. Magoo doing a good job of snaking through there, as well as, again, BSR Brian Voiles in the 68. But Furco across the nose of the 22 of Rick Craddock, going to be caution number 1 this evening.
Yeah, Joe, kind of like I was saying as we were running through it there, it gets real tight off the corner there. Not only does the car get tight, but the track itself, that wall just starts going straight out of nowhere, and running up high is not really the best line to be running on exit there. You're going to want to pull it down to get away from that wall, and I think that spelled some demise there for the 19 of BSR Furco.
So again, working our first caution of the night. Here from Darlington, BSR Kilojoules still out in front. Jason San Diego and Keith MC, your top 3.
Just a little further back there in the 4th spot, we have the 088 of Greg Lavelle. Saw him take a win not too long ago here on JTN.
Yeah, Lovell took home the victory Sunday night down in Daytona with the Fast Renegade Cup Series. Of course, won the season opener here at Bomb Squad from Daytona. The 088 team still looking for a win here in Darlington. Help them try to climb back into the championship battle that has been dominated by Kilojoules and Ricky J. You see Ricky J in that 193. That blue car with the white front splitter. That Mustang. Love how many Mustangs we have in this series. You know, it's always a good time. I believe they're unveiling the new Mustang pretty soon here, too.
I hope they don't change it much.
I just hope it's not a Mach-E. Another Mach-E, you know?
It's not a bad point. Not a bad point.
Still getting back double file. We still got a couple laps here. Again, would like to remind you, you can head on over to the JTN merch store, get yourself some JTN logo merch. Available on t-shirts, hoodies, got some coffee mugs, pint glasses, tumblers, stickers. I mean, you name it, we got it. Again, JTN merch store, we got it linked down in the video description below or to our right. It's all over the place now here on YouTube, but nonetheless, we got that link for you. Go check it out. Again, JTN merch store.
And I noticed you wearing a JTN hat on the Fake Racers podcast. You doing some product testing there, Joe?
That's actually one I made myself a long time ago. When we first started. Yeah, it's we have the ability to make hats through our spring store, but the issue I'm running into is they're embroidered, and some of the aspects of the logo aren't thick enough, so I need to contact them and see if I could work something out. I have an idea of what they could do, but I don't know if they'll do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Might have to make a special logo, special design for a hat.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe using our speed logo that we have. That was something I thought about doing, because that one should work. Yeah, that one should work. You're a fitted hat guy. Obviously, that's not an option that we have. So if you had to pick between a good old classic snapback, a trucker hat, and a dad hat, what would you pick? Or the dad hat, the buckle hat.
I'd probably lean trucker hat, or even just a basic snapback.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a buckle fan.
No, I'm not a fan either.
Not a buckle fan. All right, well, getting ready to go back racing here from Darlington. See the running order on the left-hand side of your screen. Integrating the old JTN pylon in here early tonight. I like the JTN pylon. It's starting to grow on me. You know?
Gives it a fresh look.
Inevitably, though, it'll break, and we'll have to probably go back to the other.
It's good for as long as we got it.
Do we have 19 cars out there? Did I miscount again?
There have been, there's 19 that are taking time at the moment.
Who didn't start then? Nevertheless, get ready to go back. Green flag racing. Kilojoules with control here for the restart. Coming to lap 6 of 129. After that lap 1 caution off of turn number 4. Field bunches back up. Waits for the green flag to be dropped. There it is. Back down and away we go. Green flag once again from Darlington.
Oh no, we got a restart incident here, Joe.
199, I'm Coolong around. Get you a replay what happened. Oh, this starts with the 66 of BSR Terry Scott. Honestly, it's a logjam, Weaver.
Yeah, it looks like just some wheel spin there from the 66. Terry Scott goes around, causes, like you said, a little pile up behind. Thankfully, just some light contact, if any, there for all involved. The driver that did not grid is going to be the 33 of BSR Jimmy Dale.
Okay. All right, so working our second caution of the night field. Looks like our leader, KJ, thinking about coming down pit lane, thinks wiser of it. Let's go ahead and get a word in about the new text-based simulated game, Auto Sim 2, coming to your PCs later on this year.
Today we're doing Auto Sim.
Auto Sim.
We are trying out Auto Sim.
Yay, it's Auto Sim.
And again, folks, if you check out our original video, when we released the teaser trailer, you can go to that video at the conclusion of tonight's race. We got links for the AutoSim Discord down below, Patreon, the original AutoSim game website where you can download AutoSim 1 for free. Again, all that available underneath that video. AutoSim, always a fun time. Really think you guys are going to enjoy this new game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun here this year with Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action. You got Kilojoules out in front of the field right now. I'd like to remind you that we got some great races coming up as well later on. We got Tuesday night, September the 6th, the Hobo Racing Cup Series heads to Darlington, 8:50 p.m. Eastern start time for that one. Then the following Thursday, so 2 nights later at 9:05 p.m. Eastern time, right back here at the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Kansas. And then it's the season opener for the TMP SCS Series from Milwaukee, 8:50 p.m. Eastern time. Those races much, much more live right here only on JTN, presented by our fine friends at TWB Technologies, because together we're better.
Fun lineup coming ahead. Can't wait to watch some of those races, get some studying in.
You ever watch them and study and actually take notes?
I wouldn't say I take notes. I didn't even take notes in school, Joe. But I take my mental notes.
How the heck did we employ you then?
I'm just that good.
Apparently. Race car lights are out. We're going to go back green this time by at the line. Kilojewel's going to, again, lead us back. Jason San Diego, Keith MC, Greg Lovell, and Ricky J, your top 5. Couple early incidents. Sure, these drivers want to get things going in a more positive direction. This version of Darlington is very, very tough. This, of course, is the in-game version. Very low grip on the front straightaway when you're trying to get back up through the gears. These drivers have talked about the tire wear being tremendous. So Weaver, it's just, a couple of things you got to think about here when you're restarting going up through the gears.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think there's a driver out there who's ever showed up at Darlington and expected an easy race. This is definitely one of the hard tracks for many reasons. And like you said, we've seen a couple already show their head, especially that low grip on the front stretch. A little hard to get the power down, especially when you're shifting gears on a restart.
All right, let's get this party back going here from the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway, Darlington, South Carolina. Pace car going to make the hard left turn down the pit lane. Kilojewel's with control. Green flag, we're back underway. The 29 KJ clears the 22 Jason San Diego down into turn 1. Keith MC also going to clear the 088 of Greg Lovell as we head through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Top 7 or so, still a little further away. Cody Luke going to pull in front of Rick Craddock there in the 22, the Ski Machine. Cody Luke bursting onto the scene here in the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series here in August, now into September.
A little trouble there. 32 of BSR Pantelica towards the back of the field had a little slide there in turns 3 and 4 rather, able to gather it up.
See that Slayer Chevrolet. Also see Brian Voiles in the 68, Magoo in the 144, staying out back right now.
Oh, we got one around up front.
Oh, it's the 22. Rick Craddock, Andrew Miller up and over. Caution is out.
Lid.
Here on lap number 12. That's newly initiated Andrew Miller.
BSR Magoo trying to be a friend, just couldn't get there in time to get Andrew Miller flipped back over. Gonna have to take a tow.
And we missed it. Jason San Diego took the lead over, but let's go ahead and get a replay of this incident here. Now, the 088 of Lovell was actually around first. I think that was the car that you were mentioning, but we got to it, where we saw the 22 going around. 86, of course, up and over. Let's try to catch what happened there with the 088 of Lovell. Oh, it's contact with Ricky J going into the corner. Yeah, it looks like Lovell just gets loose. And here's where that flip happens. Just awkward angles.
Yeah, you saw Rick Craddock, 22, was the first one to go really around there. Real tough. You see a car sliding ahead of you, you're going to want to slow down, not want to plow into it. It's going to make your car real loose on these corners, especially down there in 3 and 4.
Yeah, sometimes jumping on those binders really doesn't help, does it?
No, not a whole lot. I definitely think the move is trying to find the lane to make it through the wreck more than slowing down for it here in the corners.
The field decides to come down the pit lane. Jason San Diego wins the race off. Followed by Kilojoules, Keith MC, Ricky J, and Silver Bullet in that 4 throwback paint scheme for the Grizzly Chevrolet, throwing it back a couple of years.
Can we go back and get a replay of how that 022 took that lead there, Joe? Because
That's a good idea.
he was able to really pull one out. It happened there coming out of turn 2, through turns 1 and 2, rather.
Look at you with all these good ideas. You see the replay, 022 Jason San Diego behind Kilojoules, KJ blinking, so that's got to make you even more nervous when you're the trailing car. Good run through the center of the corner. KJ drifts up the track, loses a little bit of grip, and the 022 just able to power on by down the back straightaway.
029 of KJ getting just a little too high there through the corner. I think that's what really was able to give Jason San Diego that big lead before the yellow came out.
And some score updates from around the country in college football. We're tied in Pittsburgh with the backyard battle between West Virginia and Pitt. Tennessee still up big, as well as Oklahoma State. Wake Forest is up big. And Penn State has taken the lead 21-10 over Purdue.
Tennessee really trying to run up the score. I saw a little notification there. They were going for it on 4th down.
Oh, man. I'd hate to be Ball State. Pride and Joy of Muncie, Indiana. Got a great slate of games Saturday night.
Football season, baby. Nothing like it.
Where's UCF's score? I'm sure they're up big, too. Yeah, they're up 35-10. Pretty good.
Not good enough. We let them score.
Over South Carolina State. Well, South Carolina State, didn't they beat Jackson State last year? The bowl game, wasn't that what you were talking about?
They did. That was a
Coach
game
Prime?
that occurred.
Coach Prime's team?
Got stunned in a bowl game last year.
Well, that was a big deal last year, too, when they were able to get the #1 recruit in the country. Got him away from Florida State. He was a defensive back. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Coach Prime doing some big things up there at Jackson State, changing the outlook for HBCU football, and I think that's a big deal.
Indeed.
More needs to be paid towards those schools. More attention needs to be paid towards those schools and the talent they have produced in the past. Really goes unrecognized a lot, I feel.
I would agree. We get ready to go back green. Jason San Diego going to have control for the first time tonight in that 22 team Speedland Chevrolet. The blinking car to the outside is BSR Kilojoules in the 029. Keith MC, Ricky J, and Silver Bullet, your top 5 here for the restart, coming to lap 17 of 129. Green flag, we're back underway.
Trying to notice these guys spread out pretty quick here, being real careful on these restarts. Jason San Diego's starting to stretch his legs at the front of this field. He's pulling out to a nice lead right now.
A quarter of a straightaway over the 029 to Kilojoules. Then it's Keith MC bending off Ricky J in the 193. And a attaboy has to go out to the 4 Silver Bullet, having a good, strong run to start this race up inside the top 5.
And keeping his nose clean so far, doing a good job up there, like you said, in 5th place. Ooh, Ricky J getting a little high there, but he brings it back down. Really is fun to watch the different lines that drivers take through the corners here, Joe, and especially even just how they drive these corners. I don't think there's any other track on the schedule where we see the up and down through the corner like we see here.
Hey, you know, you enter on the bottom, you go all the way to that outside wall, Ricky J into the outside wall. As I said the words, allow Cody Luke to look to the inside of Silver Bullet down to 3 and 4, but you know, you talk about that 3 and 4, you take a little more measured approach. I think you try to keep your line consistent through that set of corners, but 1 and 2 definitely. You swing low on entry, take it all the way next to that outside wall through the center, and back low on exit. Try to get yourself as best of a run off the corner down the back straightaway as possible. 1 and 2 more of a sweeping corner, 3 and 4 a little tighter. That's what makes this track so unique, right? You have 2 distinct sets of corners, but you don't have a lot of that across stock car racing in general.
Yeah, Joe, very distinct. No 2 corners are the same here at Darlington. Different banking and everything in all the corners.
Little moment there for the 4 Silver Bullets. Going to allow Cody Luke to get to the inside, going down to 1 and 2. So move the 8 up inside the top 5.
Jason San Diego enjoying a 2nd plus lead now. Oh, Silver Bullet got loose there off of turn 4, but it was able to get her back down before it hit the wall. Gonna lose a lot of time though.
That car's still slow. Let's get you a replay.
028 of Bonnie Keller there got stuck in the wall through turns 1 and 2.
Calamity. Big save by the 4. You talked about the 028. Here's the replay. Look at that. That's what we call the good old-fashioned Darlington stripe with a little bit of glue thrown in.
Definitely a little bit of stick 'em up on that wall there.
Burko getting close to the wall, trying to find a way around Silver Bullet in the 4. Got Magoo into the outside wall through turns 1 and 2. It's down the front, straight away we go. Jason San Diego still your leader. Kilojoules runs 2nd, Keith MC 3rd.
Oh, we got caution on the track. Oh, Andrew Miller around again.
Something looks broken on the back end of that race car. See the replay here coming off of turn number 4. Goes for a spin. There's a car around in front. That's Nelly in the 103. Don't know if maybe Miller saw that, got off the gas. That's pretty odd. Let's see what happened with Nelly. Last week's winner from Daytona. I think a little bit of the same thing going to happen here with the 103. Going to get loose on exit of 4. Such a treacherous place on this track.
Yeah, very treacherous there coming off of turn 4. Saw Nelly go around. I think Andrew Miller probably saw that and was trying to back her down a little bit just in case he was to come back up on the track. Would have been able to slow down, but getting the worst of it. Looks like he had a tire go down there. I think that's what was looking a little odd on the rear end.
We pitting here?
I think so, Joe, and I think a big thing that's going to keep me coming down pit road during most cautions is going to be tire heat. If you stay out here, your tires are going to be a lot cooler than if you come down and get some fresh rubber. So
Fair enough. Everyone coming down the pit lane led by the 22 of Jason San Diego. Row 22, rather. Race off. Kilojoule's gonna win it. Jason San Diego second. Keep them seat. Cody Luke gonna barely edge the 193 of Ricky J, who will come off pit lane in fifth. Got Furco there in the 19. 199 M. Coulong. 66 BSR Terry Scott. Nelly. Monty Keller. Greg Lovell fighting back here. Big break for the 4 of Silver Bullet, who had that big moment. Steve Grant, Rick Craddock, Brian Voiles, Magoo going to be the last one off the pit lane. Andrew Miller. As well as Brain Fade and Pantelica stay out.
oh, big news, 029 BSR KJ Kilojoules to the back speeding on pit road.
Oh, no. And we know track position is going to be important tonight.
Very important, Joe. He's going to have a battle to get back up to the front where he was running. Joe, just thinking back, I seem to remember the last time I was here commentating for Bomb Squad, there was an incident on pit road, or an incident on track sent KJ towards the back, who had to fight his way back up during the race. Am I remembering that correctly?
That sounds about right. I'm sure that's happened at least once this year. You call so many of these races, it's hard. They all start running together, you know?
Yeah, I forget you're doing this a lot more than I am, Joe.
I'm sure better announcers would be able to pull that information from the top of their head, but I am not that or them. I am not him, Weaver. I am not him.
That's right. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're working on it. There's a lot on the plate, you know. It's a big plate. But we do our best. Telica going to come down in the 32. And Jason San Diego going to have control once again for the restart. So 22 is looking pretty dang good tonight.
Yeah, I was looking real strong that last run. Was able to stretch those legs, pull out to a second-plus lead on the field. It'd be interesting to see what happens here.
So again, working our fourth caution of the night here. Going to be restarting in a lap or so.
No, Joe, if you're one of these other drivers, you see how easy it was for him to get out to such a big lead there. You're gonna, I would start running him a little harder here while he's in my range, and kind of see if I can make him wear out his stuff a little bit, make him race a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
The lights are off on the pace car. Going to be taking the green flag next time by.
Oh, baby. line up like this: Jason San Diego, Keith MC, Cody Luke, BSR Ricky J, BSR Terry Scott, BSR Nelly, BSR Monty Keller, BSR Greg Lovell, BSR Silver Bullet, Steve Grant, BSR Kilojoules, Rick Craddock, BSR Furco, BSR Brain Fade, BSR M Coulong, BSR Pentelica, BSR Brian Voiles, BSR Magoo, BSR Andrew Miller. A lot of BSR tags in there. I got them all, I think. Field makes their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is in. Jason San Diego with control. Here for the restart, coming to lap 31 of 129. 99 laps remain here tonight from Darlington. We're back underway. San Diego, a little tougher time trying to clear the 28 to Keith MC. Keith held a good line there through 1 and 2. Leader's going to come off single file. Everyone maintains. Top 3 breaking away a little bit. Cody Luke going to face a challenge from Nelly in the 103.
Ooh, Keith MC into the wall. Send it hard there into turn 3.
28 into the wall. Field going to navigate below. Coming off of turn number 4. Put him right back there with his teammate, BSR Kilojoules in the 029.
KJ was the last one to get by him there going into turn 1.
Back up front, it's the Jason San Diego show. Best name in sim racing out in front of this field.
BSR Ricky J in tow, now out to about a second lead for San Diego on Ricky J. Ricky J now starting to fall back into the clutches of our first little pack of cars here. We see Cody Luke trying to make a move here down in turns 3. That 8 Budweiser Chevrolet putting together a good run here tonight, Joe.
And Cody's been doing a great job here since coming over to race with the boys here at Bomb Squad Racing, doing a good job of kind of, expanding his portfolio. He's racing with our friends over at Excel some Monday nights. We, of course, see him over in the Fast Renegade Cup Series, running full-time over there. So Cody doing a good job running all over the place, getting some good laps underneath his belt.
Absolutely, Joe. Definitely a guy you could see everywhere putting in that seat time, and I definitely think it's paying off. I think if you go back to some of our older races you watched with him in it, didn't really say his name much, was kind of a good midfield guy, didn't really get in much trouble, but now he's starting to put together some good runs like we've seen here, challenge for top 5s.
And that's kind of how you have to build, right? You can't start out just winning races out of nowhere. When you jump to a new league, when you start a new season, there's only one winner after one race. So you got to keep building, keep making that forward progress. If you go back 1 week, you can't let that get to you. You got to think about what you did wrong, what you can do better, what you did different. And even when you have those weeks that are good, sometimes it might not feel like it's enough, but as long as we continue to see that improvement, I know at least for me, when I was running a team, as long as I saw my guys improving week in and week out, I was happy. It didn't matter if they were running 10th and then the next week they ran 9th, or if they were running 3rd and then all of a sudden they won a race the following week. It didn't matter as long as it was an improvement. That's what you want to see behind the wheel of one of these sim race cars.
Absolutely, always a way to improve, and there's no replacement for that seat time, getting out there and putting in those laps, like you said.
And it's not even, there's a lot of guys that will talk about how they're going to go out, they're going to run a bunch of laps, all by themselves in a test session, or they're going to do all this to try to figure out the track, figure out the grip, figure out the wears, and that's great if, you're pretty sound with your experience in these races. You know, that's great if you're a guy like a Kilojoules or a Ricky J that has won so many races this year at BSR, but, you know, if you're someone with a little less experience or maybe you struggle a little bit more when it comes to races, getting all that seat time in an actual competitive event, that can always be the difference maker.
I absolutely agree, Joe. I think there's no way to teach how to race around other people if you other than just going out there and doing it. You really have to get behind the wheel with other people who you don't know what they're going to do. You can't really you can do it against the AI, but it's really not the same. You need that unpredictability and competitiveness that you get from these other real people out there. Tell you what, Joe, looking through this field, that 029 of KJ, he's making a pretty good charge. He's made up a lot of ground from where he fell back all the way up into 7th already.
And you see him there on your screens at home, trying to track down BSR Terry Scott right now in the 66. Kind of not hitting a wall right now, but starting to slow down the pace a little bit. Everyone's slowing down here. We're about 10 laps into this run.
Yeah, Joe, on the 3X wear that they run here at Bomb Squad, that premium on the tires goes away pretty quickly. So, especially if you're pushing, trying to make up positions like I'm sure KJ was, tires are going to be screaming for help right about now.
And of course, that's the biggest reason why we're gonna probably end up in a position with these drivers. Anytime we get one of those ugly yellow flags, they're gonna come down the pit lane. Unless it was like the start of the race where we didn't even really get a lap in.
Tell you what, as these tires are starting to wear, I'm noticing that 193 of Ricky J, he's starting to close in ever so slightly on Jason San Diego at the front of the field. Oh, some issues for the 088 of Greg Lavelle last time through 3 and 4 there. Got a little sideways heavy contact with the wall.
And the 028 of Monty Keller's around here on the front straightaway. That's going to bring out our 5th caution of the night here on lap 44. Get you a replay. What happens here? Be some contact involved. Let's look at it. There wasn't contact involved that was going to send that 028 around. Andrew Miller makes contact with the left rear quarter of Monty Keller. That ends up being the finishing blow there. Not too hard of a lick, though.
No, just a mostly harmless slide there for the 028. Like you said, contact, a little help going around, but I think the end result was going to be the same either way.
Oh, yeah. And there's really nothing the 86 could have done different there, right? You're trying to get to the inside of a guy. He has a moment. It's just kind of how things happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You said Lovell in the 088 had some issues?
Yeah, through 3 and 4, the lap before that.
Yeah, let's get a look at it. Here you see it. Car gets loose again. He had that issue, obviously, earlier that brought it, which was kind of what led to our 3rd caution of the night back on lap 12. This time everyone keeps on going. Doesn't have the checkout behind causing an issue, but nonetheless, another example of that 088 being a little loosey-goosey on corner entry there in 3. Cars on pit lane.
A very easy corner to have that happen to you in. So it was a big break there for KJ and Keith MC. Able to get some fresh tires on and continue their march back towards the front.
So, of course, Jason San Diego wins the race off pit lane, but it's Kilojoules up into second, so pit stops really benefiting that 029 car. Ricky J sits third. Keith MC fourth, and Cody Luke going to be your top 5 off the pit lane. The 028, 144, and 103 all staying out, though. I think they're all going to come down when they get the opportunity here. Oh, 86 definitely innocent, Tim. I don't think we're trying to place any blame on him up here in the booth.
Oh no, not at all. Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Tell you what, this will tell you how important track position is, Joe. As he goes back down pit road, I think it might have been a little too close to the wall then. Oh, the 28.
Keith?
Yeah, Keith. He only took right sides that first time down. Thought it might have been a strategy call, but he was also pretty close to the wall. I think it might have been that now.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to take 2 tires.
Well, it was an interesting call, but I mean, with how important that track position is, can't rule anything out.
Can't rule anything out, but I'm going to rule that one out. That just ain't anything. It's something. New NASCAR docu-series, Race for the Championship, comes out tonight on USA Network. I don't know, they went out there looking forward to watching that. I believe it premiered at 10, so 8 minutes ago it went live. But obviously a cool little show, hopefully giving folks a little insight into the behind the scenes of the sport. Should be pretty interesting.
Should be a fun series.
As long as they do it right, it's going to be great, right?
Yeah, I think anything to get some more eyes, some different type of content coming from NASCAR is a good
Yes.
good thing.
I agree. Believe it or not. Give us more, right? Give us more. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for joining. I'm Joe. He's also Joe. Joe Towinski, Joseph Weaver up here in the booth tonight. It's your Cup of Joe. Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series here from Darlington for the second time this year. Jason San Diego is your current leader. Kilojoules rallying back up to the second position after starting on pole. This front row flipped from what we started at tonight. You got BSR Ricky J and Cody Luke running on row number 2 here for the restart. Steve Grant, Terry Scott, Silver Bullet, Rick Craddock, M. Coulong, and Andrew Miller, your top 10 here for the restart. I read that. No, I got that. It's hard to count rows sometimes when they're all jumbled up like they are right now. You know, Weaver?
I'm very well versed in the row numbers being a little confusing.
Nevertheless, Dodge Charger pace car are going to come down the pit lane here. We're going to go back green 40 on lap 49 of 129. Going to be 81 laps to go when we get the green. Jason San Diego with control. Green flag, and we're back underway.
Flag man making them wait for that one.
The BSR Kilojoules able to snag the lead on the outside into turns 1 and 2. He goes back to the point.
Real good restart there from KJ, able to take off with the lead. See what Jason San Diego can do now, back in second, see if he can make another big pass.
Has a bunch of momentum. AJ going to drop to the low side. Tell the 22 to make the pass the hard way. Actually gives him the spot. I think the 029 might go into tire conserve mode. Sits in second. And then, of course, we've talked about that championship battle all year. There's Ricky J running right behind, right in the tire tracks of Kilojoules, as he has been for most of the year.
Yeah, and that's got to play into his mind here, especially when he's making that move. He knows Jason's got a fast car, and he knows the real battle is that championship battle, and that driver is going to still be behind him if he lets Jason by. So, live to fight another day for the win tonight. Stay ahead of the driver you're driving or racing against for the championship.
Yeah, because after tonight, only 9 more opportunities for this 193 to make up those points on the 029 to Kilojoules. Cody Luke, Steve Grant also starting to creep into the picture. Getting the feeling KJ might be holding these guys up a little bit. Because the 022 of Jason San Diego is gone.
Yeah, 4 Silver Bullet also made his way back up here. Up in the 6th position now.
It had that almost spin down the front straightaway, lost all his track position, back inside the top 10 as you mentioned. Challenging for the top 5. BSR Terry Scott losing 3 spots that time through turns 1 and 2. Craddock, Greg Lovell, and Andrew Miller all go by. Brian Voiles going to be the next one to try to make that pass.
That's how quickly things can change here if you miss that corner. This is one of those rhythm tracks too. You want to get in that rhythm and really start hitting those marks, and it's easy to get out of it and hard to get back in it.
A wiggle there from KJ off of 4. KJ not close enough to take advantage of it.
While at the front, Jason San Diego enjoying a very comfortable, almost 3-second lead now. Biggest lead of the night.
I'm going to say Jason San Diego taking full advantage of it.
But if it's anything like those last runs, definitely seems like Ricky J seems to turn it up here after we get a few laps on our belt, 7-8 laps in. He starts knocking out some good laps and catching them back.
Yeah, we seem to see that more often than not with this 193 being really good as the run goes on, and there's a mistake.
Lots of mistakes there. Looked like there was oil on the track coming out of turn 4. A lot of cars going around here.
Eric Craddock around. You see Andrew Miller slow further on down the track. Let's get your replay. I'm a little befuddled up here in the booth. Got 3 cars spinning all by themselves. Start with Ricky J. Saw this one live. See it again on replay. I think he just turned the wheel a little too much to the left there when the car was unloading. That got him uneasy and went around. So I chalked that one up too. I don't know if you agree.
Might have been trying to make a move there. It looked like KJ got in the wall ahead of him there, so might have seen that happening. Maybe was trying to make a move that was going to be the opening to make the pass.
Contact with Craddock and Lovell. Much of it, too, was these drivers kind of seeing what was happening in front of them, checking up at different points. You're not being... Car not feeling good in those cases.
I definitely think we could say that for a lot of these secondary spins. But I mean, a lot of them seemed almost simultaneous looking back at it, Joe.
Yeah. And here you see the 86.
That's going to be a night ender for the 86 of Andrew Miller.
So Andrew Miller, on a night that he was celebrated, gonna have to take it to the garage. E6 car is out of this event. Car's on pit lane.
Also missed no longer on the track. 32 of BSR Pantelica has pulled it into the garage and called it a night. 18 of BSR Furco is currently 2 laps down. Everybody else on the lead lap.
Kilojoules wins the race off pit road. That's why you want to qualify on pole, folks. Jason San Diego second, Cody Luke third, M. Coulong fourth, and Steve Grant rounds out your top 5 off the pit lane. Furco staying out in that 19. We've seen him come down the pit lane more often than not. That Dodge Charger. I don't know. Have you and I had the electric Charger conversation? I know Dewey and I did. I'm pretty sure Ricky and I did. But have we had the electric Charger conversation?
We might have. We might not have. I can't remember.
Any strong opinions?
That's the way of the world now, Joe.
I don't know. I think the design of it's really cool.
I did enjoy the concept. I think it's looks good. Whether that'll be the final design or not, we obviously will see with due time. But
Stellantis does like to change things, don't they?
yeah, you know, you always got to do something crazy for your concept cars and kind of dumb it down for production.
Yeah, that R-Wing will be gone, won't it?
Wouldn't be surprised.
It's going to be fun to see what the new Chargers look like here. Obviously, Dodge announced the Hornet as well to add to their model lineup. The Charger and Challenger going away after this next year. They're announcing some commemorative send-off models, which is really cool. They announced the, I believe it was the Super Bee they announced this week. You can get it at select dealers. The Charger going to come in the Plum Crazy color, and I forget what the Challenger color is going to be. It might be the orange or the yellow. But I do know the name of their purple because that's an iconic color in my opinion.
Big fan. I always said if I were to ever get one of those, most likely Charger. I don't think I'd get a Challenger, but it would have to be Plum Crazy.
Oh yeah, I definitely wouldn't rule out the R-Wing meme of the channel saying in chat. I wouldn't be surprised if that is what the car ends up looking like too. Little 2-door electric car sounds pretty fun. The big hatch out on the back. There's a lot of debate, of course, over the exhaust system that they created for this car. You got any opinions there?
A little gimmicky, I felt, but
I think it's cool. Hey, it's different. That's their thing, right? That's their thing.
That's the end of the day. That's what you got to expect when you're dealing with Dodge. It's gonna be a little.
Those Hellcats and Jailbreak and Demon. That's a gimmick.
Yeah, that's just their MO, and you know what? They do it well. They've got their niche in the car industry, and they control it.
We got our niche here in the sim racing broadcasting industry. Kilojoules going to lead us back to greens. Jason San Diego sitting in second. Cody Luke with the Darlington stripe up the side of that 8 car lines up third. And it's the 011 of Steve Grant and the 4 is Silver Bullet, your top 5. Keith Dempsey's rallied back up into 6th. Terry Scott 7th. Greg Lovell in 8th. Nelly 9th. And Rick Craddock rounding out your top 10. Brian Voiles BSR Monty Keller, Magoo, M. Coolong, Brain Fade, Furco, and Ricky J all coming off the pit lane here, getting ready to go restart, coming to lap 63 of 129.
Creeping up on halfway. Still got a majority of the cars out here running and looking good. Not too many heavily damaged cars in the field for Darlington.
Couple little scrapes here and there, right? Nothing too bad.
Yeah, just your normal stripes and what have you.
Field makes their way on the front straightaway. KJ with control here for the restart. Into the restart zone we go. Green flag. We're back underway. Some of those internet issues that we are accustomed to seeing with the 029 starting to pop back up. Cody Luke sits third. Top two have kind of broken away from the rest of the field. See Rick Craddock looking to the inside of Nelly. Back up front, though, Jason San Diego. Big run coming here down the front straightaway. AJ once again going to pull over. What a classy move.
Very classy. He knows he's got a fast car. Gonna let him by and take the risk out of it.
See Cody Luke and Silver Bullet battling. They're kind of closing in on KJ here. This 029, he's just been off tonight, hasn't he?
It looks like he's just missing that extra gear that we've seen in this 022 that's leading here. And maybe just backing it up, because I noticed in that last run as well, kind of backs up to the field here and then stays at a good enough distance to where that third place car can't really challenge for the position. Kind of just setting the pace. Further in the back, 14th position, you see BSR Ricky J after that incident last time around.
Ooh, Magoo, big wiggle there.
Looks like he's kind of holding back off this pack, maybe taking it safe here. Gonna wait until these tires start wearing on these other drivers to start making moves and get back through the field. Keith MC continuing his charge up through the field after his situation earlier that led him to the back, up to 6th now.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers kind of holding stationary right now from where they were for the restart. Monty Keller looking to the inside of Brian Voiles, not able to get anything going.
This is definitely a big patience track. It's definitely a lot safer and a lot easier to be patient and really only take the big runs that you get when you know you're going to be able to make that pass.
Mm-hmm.
Not end up side by side battling with somebody, because that's when you really start losing a lot of time. Jason San Diego not really able to pull out to such a extravagant lead as he was the last run. Still sitting at about close to a second now. front of our second place car in KJ.
A little 3-car pack here, level to the inside, Keith MC, not getting it going there. Furco into the outside wall, he's going around, catches it. A little quick to call that one, good save by Furco there off of turn number 2.
Good save and good on these officials, keeping that yellow flag in their back pocket, not bringing it out too quickly.
I'm a fan.
Keith MC making the pass there on the 11. Steve Grant now back into 5th position, or 6th position.
You seen anything out there right now?
I'm seeing that Steve Grant has, or not Steve Grant, I'm sorry, Jason San Diego has lost the lead.
That would be what I am talking about. KJ is taking back over on the point.
Interesting development. Not only has KJ taken that lead, but he's starting to stretch his legs and pull a lead here.
Sometimes you want to stretch your legs a little bit, right?
Oh, I love stretching. It don't matter what it
You
is, I'm
love
always
stretching?
stretching. I love stretching. It's the best feeling in the world.
That is the weirdest sentence in the world. I love stretching.
Greg Lavelle in the wall in turns 4, 3, and 4.
Level loses a couple spots. Cody Luke's starting to close in here on the 20-0-22 of Jason San Diego as well.
Car just not giving him what he wants this run, it seems.
Saw Cody with a little issue there off of 4. That's going to allow Silver Bullet to look to the inside as the caution's out once again.
Yeah, it looked like Cody Luke just got a little high there in 3 and 4. Lost some time and backed him up.
Let's see what ends up causing this one.
Oh, the 088 again in turns 3 and 4.
He blinks out there. He's still blinking. He's into the wall. He's spinning off of 4. Big level around once again here from Darlington.
Good job there missing that spinning, blinking car. Very hard to miss a car that you can't see, but good job by the field getting around them.
Does that put the 088 out of this thing?
Think it might. Yep, he has pulled it into the garage, or his internet might have did it for him.
One of the two. Nevertheless, off track.
Shane Greg had a really fast car, just a little too loose there in 3 and 4. Was giving him issues all night. And I think that, on top of the internet issues we were seeing there, really just
And
the
derailed it.
straw that broke the camel's back.
Fair enough. Field back down the pit lane. Again, working our 8th caution of the night. Here on lap 77 of 129.
Bet you that 022 team's going to take a long, hard look at these tires they're pulling off here.
Try to
See
figure
if
out
they
what
can-
went wrong.
Yeah, see what might have been going on there, and see if this new set helps them return to that dominance they were showing just a couple runs ago.
And it might even just be a matter of the 029's a little better on the longer run. We just haven't had a long run tonight, you know?
It very well could be, Joe. We're still learning a lot about this race. There's been so many things change, and we haven't really been able to see definitively who's got that fast car.
Oh, Magoo! Into the outside wall.
Oh, no.
What happened there? Gassed it up. Don't do that. Let's stay out, lead a lap here. Weaver, how's your night going?
I'm having a pretty swell night, Joe.
Yeah, you have a pretty good day?
I had a pretty nice day. It was nice, enjoyable, good time.
Good. The 144 getting way out in front there and make sure he leads the lap. Again, working our 8th caution of the night. Gonna have 50 to go when we hit the line this next time. You think you got 50 more in you, Weaver?
I got more than 50 in me, Joe. We could go all night if I had to.
Folks, if you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome. Thank you. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. I'm Joe Twansky, joined tonight by Mr. Joseph Weaver. The Weavatron, as he is affectionately called. I don't think anyone actually calls you that, do they?
They might from time to time. It's just...
It's a little joke.
Yeah.
Little fun little ribbon.
Yeah, you know, I'm a man of many names. Everybody calls me something different.
Weaver and I have been talking about getting a little sports betting show going over on JTN2, so be on the lookout for that.
Gotta help the people win some money.
Give out our couple picks for the week. Won't be anything too regular, at least like daily, but try to get you something every weekend with football season here. Get you a couple picks that we like.
Yeah, give us a chance to talk about some stuff that we think we know a lot about.
Yeah, we probably don't.
Yeah, probably not. But
I barely know anything about what we're doing right now, honestly.
it's all about how you talk about it, though, Joe.
I know, it's all about how you put your words together.
If we say it right enough, people are going to believe us.
Just like the next-gen car, it's all about how you put it together and you build it originally. If you build it bad, deal with it for a year. Anyways, getting ready to go back green. BSR Kilojoules with control. Jason San Diego there in second. Cody Luke, Keith MC, and Steve Grant your top 5. I'm really never going to get that opportunity that I'm looking for, am I? Nevertheless, getting ready to go back green.
Maybe one of these days, Joe.
Hey, you got a question. You can't go through life without questioning things, you know? Gotta ask those questions. All right, here we go. Kilojoules with control here for the restart. Jason San Diego to the outside. Cody Luke, Keith MC, Steve Grant coming back. Green lap 81 of 129. Green flag, we're back underway.
Good start there for the 029 and KJ, able to clear.
You talk about a good start for the 029. 22 Jason San Diego, 22 Jason San Diego struggling a little bit. Rest of the field single file. 68 Brian Voiles lets off really early for 3 and 4. Thought there could have been some issues there. Still under power. Back up front, Jason San Diego, lap later from the restart, taking the lead.
Almost some deja vu moment there. We've seen it the last 3 restarts. It'll be interesting to see what happens now. Look there in 3rd place, 28, Keith MC back up there.
And Keith's going to will have to start pushing his teammate, Kilojoules, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got 2 hungry drivers behind you. Gonna need to put a gap on them, and those 2 being Cody Luke and BSR Nelly in the 103. Jason's starting to claw out to a bigger lead like we have seen before. Cody Luke making the move here down in turns 3 on Keith MC.
Drifts up the track a little bit.
Just caught a little bit of that apron on entry, but able to keep it down just enough. Clears him off turn 4.
You know, that was a little trickier than I would have liked it to be.
Cody Luke, the Bud driver, he's been staring at that Busch rear panel for quite some time tonight. I think he's deciding it's time to make some moves and get behind him.
Jason San Diego out to another big lead here. Haven't really had the opportunity to talk about it. We have 23 to 24 laps on a tank of fuel. Doing that math, it'll get us to around lap 103, 104. Get you right on the cusp of making it on just that one more stop to the end, so wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see some drivers save some, although the tires, you're going to be at such a big deficit as you're seeing the 029 kilojoules starting to clutch it down there in 1 and 2. Right on cue. I love it when it happens like that.
Yeah, Joe, it would be a deficit on tires, but you do lose quite some time on a pit stop here under green, being a shorter track and the length of the pit road here. Gonna be interesting to see. I definitely think it is plausible to do that one stopper from here on. Maybe saving the fuel, you're gonna end up saving a little bit of tires. You never know.
I think you got to go for it, right? I think that's, if the race runs green, which did, hasn't been one of those races tonight, but that can always change at a moment's notice. I think that would be the winning play.
I definitely think the window's close enough to where there's going to be some people that pull it off, and I wouldn't want to be on the losing end of that strategy.
No sorry.
Jason San Diego enjoying a comfortable lead, and Cody Luke putting some pressure on KJ for second. Keith MC sitting in 4th right now. Oh.
Big moment there for the 8 off of turn number 2. Or 4, rather.
Well, you might got a little spooked there. KJ was doing a little line dancing coming off the corner.
Not the kind of fun line dancing. Scary kind.
It's a very scary kind, like going below the line dancing.
It's like Furco has retired, so Jason San Diego's still out in front of the field. There's your check-in on him. We keep our eyes on the 3rd place car, Cody Luke, because he's trying to fend off Keith MC behind for that final podium spot.
Everybody's got a pretty solid gap right now. We look a little high through that corner. You're going to give the opening there for Keith MC to get by him.
Mac Daddy up to third. Nelly and Silver Bullet kind of battling back here for this 5th spot. Bullet all over the back bumper of last week's winner, Nelly.
F4 Silver Bullet's been running up top 5 most of the night, trying to get back into that top 5 here. But you can just see, not even side by side, just a little bit of a battle there between those two drivers, how much time they've lost back from 4th place Cody Luke, and how much those cars behind them are stacking up, as you see they're side by side now going into 3 and 4.
Oh, it's getting hairy here. 4 cars underneath the blanket as the 4 goes on by the 103. Steve Grant in the 011 starting to close the gap a little bit too. 103 into the outside wall. It's going to allow the 011 to get to the inside.
Behind all this, one of our contenders for the win, Ricky J, still working his way back up through the field after a spin off of turn 4 earlier in the race.
This is where these different strategies coming down to the end of the race are going to start to unravel themselves, right? Going to see a couple drivers probably try to get those extra laps out of this fuel run as Nelly lets 2 guys on by down into 1 and 2. There's that 103 Medicine Chest Pharmacy Chevrolet dropping back.
I definitely think we're starting to see a lot of drivers cut back a little bit, save a little bit. They know it's going to be fairly close. Don't have to save a ton to make it.
Ricky J completes the pass.
Lead for Jason San Diego is shrinking ever so slightly lap by lap. Ricky J clears Silver Bullet there in turns 3 and 4 and has now set his eyes on our front runners.
That 4 car going to lose another spot to the 011 of Steve Grant. Nelly going to be able to close back up on the back bumper. Pit stops are going to be interesting. They always are here at Darlington. A very unique pit entry that we've seen drivers struggle with in the past. The top 3 starting to accordion back together here in the closing parts of this run. Keith MC closing on the back of Kilojoules. Kilojoules closing on the back of Jason San Diego. San Diego is still our leader.
Yeah, Joe, a very unique pit road, a very difficult pit road to get down onto. It was very flat down there on the apron and hard to get it woed up. That wall really sneaks up on you.
And just so slow through the corners now. They're just creeping at this point compared to what they were doing on the restart.
Looking at it, drivers almost a full 2 seconds off of their best laps right now. And a change in position. Keith MC getting by KJ for second. Try his luck at running down that 022 of Jason San Diego for first. It looks like the pit stops are starting, Joe.
Oh boy, and you're definitely not going to be able to make it to the end if you're pitting right now.
No, definitely a little too early. Going to have to wait a good, another, I'd say, what, 5-6 laps before that window opens up to make it. Oh! Keith MC getting right up on the bumper of Jason San Diego, coming off of turn 2 there, got a little loose, was able to gather it back up.
See 028 Monty Keller coming back out on track. So again, we're watching this 022. Jason San Diego comes to pit lane.
Ooh.
And he's not going to be able to make it to the end on this stop. I mean, still too far outside the window.
I agree, Joe. He did really have to save some fuel here on this last run if he wants to make it.
And I don't think you can save that much on one run.
Leader now, the 029 of BSR Kilojoules. See him saving heavy in the corners, trying to stretch this run out. Window's going to be opening fairly soon for that one-stop strategy.
Again, folks, I'm Joe Twansky, joined by Joseph Weaver tonight up here in the broadcast booth. Your Cup of Joe, Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action for the second time this year from the Darlington Raceway in beautiful Darlington, South Carolina. If you're tuning in for the first time tonight, we've seen an up-and-down race, a lot of incidents, a lot of guys getting loose off of corners, and now the driver that we feel like has a really good shot has been the dominant car all year. Kilojoules pits from the lead, gives the lead over to Keith MC.
Behind them, the 193 of BSR Ricky J also coming in, taking their service now. I think this might be the start of the pitting of people that feel like they might make it on one stop.
And if I was Ricky J, I would have tried to stay out an extra lap. Gotta do something different than KJ, right? That's the guy you're battling. We talked about it tonight. That's the guy you're battling in points. Do something different than him. Don't know if speed alone is going to be enough.
Current leader was the 28 of BSR, Keith MC. He's coming in this time.
Well, that should be everyone. Think the 022 Jason San Diego should cycle out as our leader. We'll keep our eyes on this Team Speedland Chevrolet. And remember, folks, make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video. It does so much to help support us here on JTN. Helps us get these videos out to more people. And as always, it is much appreciated. It's the best way. It's a free way to help support us here on the JoeTowNetwork. Always got those viewership bumps as we come down to the end of these races.
We're getting down to it, Joe. It's going to be interesting to see. Jason San Diego pit a lot earlier, has had a lot of laps out here on these fresh rubbers. Just how big of a lead is he going to have when it cycles through?
Vroom, no 22 loose there off of turn number 4. There's Kilojoules in the 029.
Jason San Diego pulled it out to a almost 6.5 second lead there on that pit cycle. A lot of saving going on though from the 029. Suspecting that 022 of Jason's going to have to come back down for at least a splash of fuel before the end of this race.
That's if this thing stays green. If it's a caution, it'll throw everything out of whack because we would think everyone would come back down the pit lane, get new tires, get fuel, be topped off, ready to go, maybe make some last-minute adjustments to that setup for a shorter run to the finish. We don't know just yet. What we do know is Jason San Diego, as you said, has that about 6-second lead right now over BSR Kilojoules. You did have some shuffling too. BSR Terry Scott, BSR Silver Bullet, 3rd and 4th. So Ricky J rounds out your top 5. I'll go back there. There you see that 66 kind of closing the gap to the 029. Silver Bullet doing the same. And there you see the 193 Ricky J.
I definitely think that 029 of KJ is going to be saving just a little bit here, still making sure he's going to hit that number.
Yeah.
But if you know you ain't going to make it, you got to run as hard as you can, get all you can out of these tires. Your only hope is to pass these guys as they're saving fuel.
Last little bit of college football scoreboard updates. Backyard brawl between West Virginia and Pitt is tied at 31 with 3:34 remaining. West Virginia ball at their own 39. Purdue just scored a touchdown to take a 24-21 lead over Penn State. Missouri currently leads 31-10 over Louisiana Tech. Minnesota up 24-0 over New Mexico State, and Arizona State up 3-0 with 12:47 left in the second over Northern Arizona. We're gonna get one of those little fancy little bottom line things, Weaver. I'm gonna figure it out.
It's coming soon. I believe you, Joe. It'd be great for the fans. Tell you what, I think Jason San Diego might be starting to try and save a little bit of fuel. His lead's diminishing ever so slightly here.
I mean, at this point, you're just making that last stop a little bit shorter, right?
Possibly. I mean, it would take some heavy saving to save as much as he would need to with how early he pit. So maybe trying to hit that splash of fuel and no tires pit stop to send it off. I think right now, if you're not on a one-stop strategy, you're really praying for a caution. You lose almost 40 to 50 seconds on a pit stop, that being 4 tires and fuel. A little less with, say, a splash and go, but
still losing time.
Yeah, you're still losing 20, 25 plus seconds on pit road, so I would put him well out of the top 10 if he pit right now and no one else did.
Closing in on 10 laps to go here from Darlington. Jason San Diego still your leader. Field has strung out. Ricky J has battled back up into third position, closing the gap a little bit to Kilojoules. Keep them C up into fourth. 28 was the driver best on fuel, was the last to pit.
I can definitely tell you that 193 Ricky J is not saving fuel. He's knocking off seconds a lap right now. He's pushing it as hard as he can.
Now he's saving. You said that, and then he saved that time through 3 and 4. So if he's saving and knocking off seconds on lap times, boy howdy, he's gonna be there at the end. Working lap 118 of 129. Going to be 11 to go this time at the line.
Looks like some pit stops are starting here, Joe. The 103 BSR Nelly on pit road. Luke coming down, Silver Bullet taking service. Oh, looks like he...
There's a car around on the back straightaway. It's the 11.
And that's going
Heavy
to bring
hit.
out a yellow.
Steve Grant absolutely destroyed by the 144 of Magoo. Caution is out. And we're about to have a pretty little interesting run to the finish here. If you're Jason San Diego, you love it, right?
I don't know if he's loving anything, Joe. He almost got taken out in that wreck.
You see a replay. 011, 199, just some contact there. 199 to the inside wall. 011 to the outside wall. Gonna pull back up the track. Leader's coming through. Caution's already out. Oh.
Good avoidance there by Jason San Diego, but
Can't
hard
say
to really
the same
see.
for Magoo.
Yeah, it's in that situation. It's hard to see when you're following a car that close what's going on ahead of you, and
Yep.
Very hard contact there for the 011 of Steve Grant.
Let's go ahead and go on board with Magoo, get you a good look at what we were talking about. We're going to go on board, though, from the roof. You see that incident up ahead down the back straightaway. And as you mentioned, hard to tell, it'd be even visibility, of course, even worse from the visor for the drivers. So a tough break there for Magoo in the 144. He charges on as the rest of the field comes down the pit lane. Do you have any strategy calls here? I think everyone going to probably take 4 tires. Take some fuel. Make yourself good to go to the finish here. Jason San Diego, first one released from his box. Going to win the race off pit lane, I do believe. Kilojoule second. Keith MC, Rick Craddock, and Ricky J, your top 5 off the pit lane.
Tell you what, Joe, that caution was a lifesaver for a lot of our drivers in the top 10 here. Probably weren't looking to make it. The green flag stops were already starting.
Mm-hmm. Would like to remind you, folks, as we did miss it, you can head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com, because from porches to patios to more, for all your outdoor lighting needs, they have you covered. This, of course, by way of our TWB10 to go. Again, GardenLightsDirect.com, porches, patios, and more, all those outdoor lighting needs. Head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com, 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 here on your TWB10 to go. We got to finish a brewing here in Darlington, as Jason San Diego will have control for the restart. Kilojoules there on the outside. Have to think the 029 is not going to give way this time on the restart, as we've seen in the past. Going to fight tooth and nail to keep the lead if he can get it. And the 022 going to have control here for the restart. We'll get the opportunity to launch first. Ricky J, looks like 193 might have been speeding on the pit lane. Gonna be even more spots lost. Thank you, Aussie Bill. Glad to see you tuning in. So we have reached the 11 o'clock hour. Weaver, what are you watching for on this restart?
Well, I think now more than ever it's going to matter who gets that jump off this restart. Like you said, I don't think anybody's going to be laying over, letting anybody by going into one like we've seen these past few runs. So getting this restart nailed, getting a good restart, taking that lead is going to be the key, I think, to winning this race. It's going to be hard to get by whoever gets that lead initially.
It's all one and the same coming down to the end of this one. 68 Brian Voiles going to take a wave around, get a lap back. Be able to gain some positions here at the end of this thing. Dodge Charger pace car lights go out. Jason San Diego going to choose the bottom. Then it's Kilojoules there to the outside. Keith MC lining up in third. Rick Craddock, Brain Fade up inside the top 5. Silver Bullet, Terry Scott, Ricky J, Cody, Luke, and Nelly. Your top 10 here for the restart. To think, too, maybe some drivers throwing a little extra tape on the grills, give themselves a little more downforce, a little more straightaway speed.
I definitely think it's in the cards. Got to be careful. There's still a little bit,
Still a couple
not
laps,
a lot
right?
of laps.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little bit, couple strips on there. I wouldn't be covering up that whole opening.
Nah, tape is
just
solid.
yet.
I mean, for all you know, we could go green, get 2 laps, and then be done. Too, you know? I mean, it's...
That is true, and you know that might be because somebody put so much tape on it. You got to imagine how much that affects the handling.
You just
Be a
never
lot
know.
loose, a lot more loose with a lot of tape on the front.
You just never know what you're going to get here at the Bomb Squad Racing League, here with the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. That's why you got to tune in every week right here on JTN. Jason San Diego with control here for the restart. Has been so fast on the short runs throughout the night. Can he hold on one final time to take home the victory? Dodge Charger pace car is in. Note 22 with control here. Coming to the green with 6 laps to go from the Lady in Black. Into the restart zone we go. Green flag. We're back underway and the 022 spins. Oh, no. Caution going to come out. Brian Voiles going around 2. Kilojoules with control of this race. Out in front of the field. Keith MC sits second, and here comes Silver Bullet battling for third. Ricky J giving that 4 a big push down the back straightaway into turn 3. 4 goes through for the final podium spot. Ricky J in the 193 going to be looking for it, but coming off a turn number 4, Kilojoules going to win the race back to the line. Could just be the race for the win. And disaster strikes the 022 of Jason San Diego. Wheel spin on the restart sends the 022 from the lead all the way to the outhouse. Get your replay. You saw it live, you see it again here. Some wheel spin.
Yeah, Joey gets on the throttle and gets going all right, but he shifts from first into second gear, and that's when it just loops around on him. Tough break there on what could be the last restart of the night. I think we might get 1 lap in here, Joe, though. Fingers crossed.
Sure, there's a lot of drivers that don't like that. Don't like that idea. Because 1 lap usually means a big crash. Because everyone's going for everything.
Well, if you ask the driver behind the wheel, that 029 car KJ, he's wanting this to be the end. But I think anybody behind him, I think they want one more shot at it.
Right now, with 34 seconds left, Pittsburgh leads West Virginia 38-31. That's fun. That's kind of what we got going on here, right? The last second battle for the finish. Will they, won't they go back green is the question we ask here in the booth. Would like to remind you we got some great races coming up here on JTN, including the Hobo Racing Cup Series right back here from Darlington. Coverage begins next Tuesday, September the 6th at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Then it's the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series from Kansas, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time, September the 8th. And the TMPSCS Series from Milwaukee, September 12th, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more live right here only on JTN. And remember, you can click the bell icon next to the subscribe button to be notified anytime we go live. It's another great way to keep up to date, as well as following us on social media at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, you know the rest. But as always, the best way to help keep up to date, just be subscribed right here on YouTube.com. We come up in your feed if you watch us enough, and help us appease the almighty YouTube algorithm. And hit that like button if you haven't already. 16 folks watching, only 9 likes. Come on. We'd appreciate it so much if you were ever so kind. Another lap of pace, and we need the lights to go out next time.
It's all going to come down next time. I think if it holds true to what we've been getting, I think they go out this time by Joe, and we get one lap to decide this race. You never know, though. That's how racing goes, isn't it, Joe? You run 120, 127, 128 laps, and it always comes down to one.
It always comes down to if those dang lights go out, too, it seems like, right? Anytime you're in a good position, or, you know, the little mistake at the end, you could run a flawless race, make one mistake too late in the event, and we saw that firsthand tonight with this 022 Jason San Diego, a heartbreaker for that entire Team Speedland team.
Very much so. He's probably hoping it goes green one more time just to salvage maybe a top 10 out of it.
Oh, gonna have to be super aggressive here on the restart. I think he came down, put some tape on the grill on that 022. You know,
might as well. You got nothing to lose.
Have a little fun, right? You're already in the worst spot you can be. The back of the field.
It all comes down to this, Joe. All eyes on that wheel and light bar top of the pace car.
Does it go out? Oh boy.
It does, Joe. One lap to decide the winner here. Teammates KJ and Keith MC on your front row going to be duking it out. You got Silver Bullet behind the inside line. Ricky J on the outside. What's gonna happen?
I think craziness. Would you agree with that?
I would expect nothing less.
In a race tonight that has had 10 cautions, it's all going to come down to one restart and one lap. Kilojoule's going to lead us back to green in the 029. Our points leader looking to extend that points lead over our fourth place runner, Ricky J. But in between those two cars, you got the 028, Keith MC there on the front row, the Lincoln Busch Ice Machine, and then the 4 of BSR Silver Bullet. Again, Ricky J starting in fourth, Rick Craddock, Brain Fade, Terry Scott, Cody Luke, Magoo, Jason San Diego, Nelly, and the 028 of Monty Keller. 199 M. Coulong also still out there with Brian Voiles rounding out your field left there on the racetrack. Dodge Charger pace car will come down the pit lane, give way to these drivers, see who can take home the checkered flag tonight from the track. That's just too tough to tame. Field makes their way off turn number 4 into the restart zone. Fans on their feet, they know it all comes down to this. You do at home as well. Let's sit back, relax, and watch. Green flag. We're back underway here. One lap to go.
Great restart there by KJ. Got a good jump. Keith McLean a little bit of wheel spin, but didn't get loose.
Big wheel there from Ricky J on the outside of Silver Bullet. 193 around. There's a car around in the back. Couldn't tell who it was. Race down the back straightaway for third.
Silver Bullet going to clear Ricky J here going into turn 3. Ricky J battling back on the outside line. Looks like they're going to stay single file here for your leader.
Ricky J going to try to have a run coming to the line. Off of turn number 4, it's going to be Kilojoules taking home the victory. Keith MC going to wind up in second, and Silver Bullet rounding out your podium as Ricky J spins down the front straightaway. Let's get a replay of that incident there through turns 1 and 2 on the restart, because that kind of set us up, and it's Cody Luke involved in this one, and Jason San Diego, I think, also got to get caught up in it. Luke checks up behind the 49, wiggles. Jason San Diego, nowhere to go. Monty Keller also involved. You see those cars going around. We were talking so highly of Cody Luke at the start of this thing. I think that might be where we jinxed him just a little bit. And then here's what happens with the 193 of Ricky J off of turn number 4. This car going to get loose off the corner. There it goes.
Spins it down low, loses a spot. Going to still end up at the top 5, though. But that is tough to finish top 5, even when you got that points battle going on. KJ winning the race. Just adding on to his points lead here.
And Kilojoules burns it down here on the front straightaway. Again, we'll talk with our podium finishers. BSR Kilojoules, BSR Keith MC, and BSR Silver Bullet. KJ wins. Results coming on your screens momentarily. Folks, again, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, you drop a like on the video and subscribe. Again, as always, that is the best way to help support us here on the JoeTow Network. Results incoming, but let's go ahead and first bring in our race winner. He's the driver of the 029 Busch Ice Cadillac. BSR Kilojoules. KJ, you got a copy? Oh, man, I think this is one of those times where you might not have a copy. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. Bringing home the number 4 car in third tonight is BSR Silver Bullet. You got a copy there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Well, Bullet, unless I can call you Silver by your first name.
It doesn't matter.
I know. An up and down race for you tonight. Obviously, we saw, I forget what lap it came on, but involved in the lap 26 incident. Nothing of your own doing, right? You hit the wall one time. That kind of sent you to the back. How were you able to rally back up to finish on the podium?
I just stuck with it. The guys that I have in my Whisper channel talking to me, keeping me calm, and all that other. So it was a great race. I had a fast car tonight. My paint scheme tonight, I'm talking, it's one of the paint schemes I used years ago that, it was great to bring back a throwback paint job like that. So, and it was nice. Yeah, I just kept calm, didn't fix the damage, fixed it here and there when I could, and just made my way back to the front.
And obviously tonight is one of the bright spots on the year. It's no secret, you and this Ford team, you've had your struggles here in the 2022 Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. What is a night like tonight? I know there's only 9 races left, but what does it do for your confidence behind the wheel to kind of hype you up for this final stretch here to the end of the year?
Well, tonight I actually made some wheel settings adjustment. I've been struggling ever since I got my new wheel. And KJ, he's helped me tremendously on getting me in that right path on fixing my settings and everything. So getting where I'm at now, finishing where I did tonight, that's a huge accomplishment for myself, because I've had bad luck all year, and you've seen it. So, I'm stoked. This is like a win for me.
Well, results now on the screens of the folks at home. Before we let you go, Silver Bullet, the floor is yours, buddy. Just a reminder, because I think it's been a while. Remember to thank all those friends, family, and sponsors.
Yeah, I would like to thank the clubhouse of BSR. I'd like to for putting this on, especially for Brian and Kathy Voiles. I'm pretty sure I just pronounced that wrong. For broadcasting the races on the Cup nights, I would like to thank KJ, Ricky J, Keith, Brian Bowles as well. Helping me out with my wheel settings and getting things squared away with like the outcome tonight, where I was able to place third. Thank you, JTN, for putting such a great show on. I can't wait to go back and watch, the the broadcast again and everything. So thank you very much.
Well, again, congratulations on the third place run, and as always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
BSR Silver Bullet, driver the number 4, your third place finisher tonight. Let's go ahead and next bring in our second place finisher, because now we're going to work from third up to the top. Driver the number 28, BSR Keith MC. Keith, you got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, old Mac Daddy, second place finish, but man, did you want that thing to go green to the end?
Oh my God, I could make it. Ricky and KJ were gonna be close, but I was 2 laps to the good, and I said yeah, and then the caution came out. So oh well, it still worked out. Good run, good 1-2 finish for me and KJ.
Well, and a big rally from you in this 28 team. Obviously, we saw the pit stop. A little too close to that pit wall. The crew couldn't get the car jacked up on the left side. Had to come back down and get those tires.
And take a break, bathroom break.
Well,
might as well.
I mean, going to the back to the front, though, in extra time during the race, that's got to be a lot of extra pressure, right?
It wasn't bad tonight. I didn't have any bush ice in me, so it wasn't too bad.
Mine was a little clearer then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keith. We've talked about it. You and this 2018, you've heated up here through the summer. What do you do to keep this momentum going in the positive direction?
Just keep my mind clear while I'm racing, and I'll be fine.
Hey, keep that mind clear. He's the driver of the number 28. He knows how to do it.
All right.
Hey.
I'd like to thank
Wait a minute.
Brian and Kathy Voiles.
Whoa.
JoeTown. Hey, he said we was running overtime. We need to speed these things up.
Good.
Then Matt gets on here and talks for 5 minutes. What in the world? No, but anyway, it was a really good race after it finally got started. I mean, it took forever to get going, but I just wish it would have ended. But hey, good win for KJ. He's going to sweep his way to this championship, it's looking like. But anyway, thanks to Kathy and everybody, everything y'all do. And we will see y'all next Tuesday.
Heck yeah, right back here at Darlington. He's the driver of the number 28. You know him, you love him. Mac Daddy, Keith MC. Keith, again, congratulations on the second place run, and thanks so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you, Joe.
So from second now to the top of the scoring pylon, he's the driver of the 029. We've talked with him so many times in Victory Lane this year. It's kind of getting a little overkill. Talk about kill a Jules joining us in the booth. You got a copy, KJ?
Yeah, I got you, Joe. How about them Busch Ice cars tonight?
Hey, they were pretty fast, running 1-2 tonight. I think that's probably some good for the sponsor activation, but I want to ask you a question, because on these restarts, you were able to snatch the lead, and then not even a lap later, willing to give up the lead every single time to that 022. What went into that?
I did not want to run that pace. Jason was running. Me and Keith had a plan. We were going to race the track and do what the track gave us tonight. And I had a pace in mind of what I was going to do, because he was running so hard. After about 4 or 5 laps, we were even out anyway.
Yeah.
And he would just kill his tires. And those few runs we had went pretty long. You could see where he was losing grip on the exit. And I'd get him back. I just didn't want to put the car on the wall or cause something just for some reason, because this is a long race. It's 130 laps.
Yeah.
It feels like an all-nighter around this place. So just race the track. I told Jason early on that let me get the lead and we'll get settled out, and then you can have it. And that's what we pretty much did all night.
Well, did that all night, and then obviously towards the end there, strategy comes into play. Were you close on fuel? Were you good to go? What was how did that caution end up affecting your race?
I think I would have won. It was on the good side. I was showing Splash. It was really close. Ricky was having the clutch more than me. I was good, I think, at the pace I was running. I knew Jason had pit, so I wasn't really worried about him. I was watching Keith behind me. Keith is the one I was worried about. He was catching about 3 or 4 tenths a lap, because he pitted a lap later. He could run it harder. So, I mean, I wish the caution didn't come out. That would have finished green, because that would have been good for the broadcast, a fuel mileage gamble like that. But I won either way. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, I don't want to sound like that guy, but I won either way, so it don't really matter to me how it finished.
Checkered flag's a checkered flag. He's got a lot of them this year. He's the driver of the 029 BSR Kilojoules. KJ, before we let you go, though, buddy, you know what to do. Floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. First of all, Joe, you and Weaver here in the booth tonight, JTM broadcasting that race. I'll do like I always do. Go back tomorrow and watch the whole thing again, listen to the interviews. Also want to give a shout out to Matt. Matt had a good run tonight. Matt's been having a pretty rough season so far, so he changed some stuff with his wheel tonight, and it seemed to help him out a little bit. He didn't really make mistakes. I think he got the wall one time, but everybody gets a stripe here. Teammate Keith had a good run tonight. Keith's been really improving since the break right there during the summertime. All my other teammates, we all had good cars tonight. We were like 1 through 4 to start with for earlier. But Brian and Kathy Voiles and Voiles Trucking for sponsoring Thursday night like always. Magoo and all the admins here at BSR for doing everything they do each and every week for us. I mean, it can go unsaid. People don't know half the stuff that goes on behind the scenes here. Good race tonight. It had its moment. Darlington's a tough track. But overall, it was a good race, especially the back half of it. My mom and my wife both gave me congratulations on the win. So I'm going to go ahead and get them in now, Joe, before I forget.
There you go.
So thanks to them for watching. Thanks for everybody else watching tonight. It kind of started kind of ugly, but the back half of that race got pretty good. So thank you, guys, and I will see you next week.
KJ, as always, congratulations on the win, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
All right, thank you, guys.
BSR Kilojoules, driver of the 029, your winner here tonight from Darlington. Weaver, I'd ask you to sum it up. I'll give you, let's say, 2 words.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. 2 words? Can I get 3?
I'll give you 4. I'll double it.
I'll use 3. I say that's Darlington, baby.
It was definitely a classic Southern 500-esque race. Some cautions early, drivers taking a little while to feel out what they were going to need out of the car, and then eventually you get that long green flag run at the end. Caution late changes everything, throws everything out of whack, and in the end we see Kilojoules taking home another victory. This season to date's been a great one, folks. You're going to want to make sure you're subscribed here on JTN so you catch the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series every single Thursday night now through the end of the year. 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time is when we go live. Again, on Thursday nights, 9 races left to decide a champion. Remember to follow us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Make sure you're subscribed here on JTN because, of course, that is the best and easiest way to help support us here on YouTube.com. With all that being said, though, for all of us at JTN, for Bristol, our producer, for Mr. Joseph Weaver, I've been Joe Clancy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh! Turn 4 into the trial with Whitehill and through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the ride and a wrecking behind him. We have cars flying everywhere. The car's upside down. It doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won a Daytona in a 3 car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Cinder and Bordeaux for
third contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy with